If you want to become a new version of yourself, you have to let the old one go. You cannot continue to do the same things that the old version of you did and expect a different result. You have to be willing to completely let go of all of the things that made the old version of you, you. The lifestyle, the habits, the actions, the thought patterns, the friends.
It took me 4 years to learn what I'm about to teach you in the next minute and a half. It is never too late to reinvent yourself. You can decide that everything you have done up until this point in your life is irrelevant. You can choose today, right now, to start a completely new book, because your past does not have to equal your future unless you choose to live there. For years, I thought the identity that I was creating in the early stages of my 20s was going to be the identity I was going to have for the rest of my life. And it just doesn't have to be that way. I heard this quote from Tony Robbins, and it has just completely shaken my world. He says, the biggest conflict that humans experience on a daily basis is the need to remain consistent with how they choose to identify themselves. And that need to remain consistent is usually what forces people to stay stuck in how they've always been. There's just so much peace and beauty in knowing that just because you did something one way for a long period of time doesn't mean you have to keep doing it that way. You don't have to just manage your day-to-day, manage your circumstances. You can actually be the creator of your own life. And when that really clicked for me, I started to get excited about living again. The Sunday scaries started to go away. I just got really excited about the future. And I want you to know that the same thing can happen for you. I'm telling you, if you're feeling stuck in your life right now, do something differently. Change something, make a power move. You deserve a life on your terms. You deserve a life that you're freaking obsessed with.
If you want to change your life, then you have to change your identity. Think of it this way. Your current identity and the way you are now has got you to where you currently are. But if you want to experience something new, then that version of you is going to have to change. And if you want to change your identity, then the first thing that needs to change is your mindset. So imagine a version of you that already has what you want. The version of you that's already reached your goal. And then imagine, what would they be doing? What would they not be doing? What beliefs would they have about themselves? And you're going to use that as the blueprint for what beliefs you need to adopt and what actions you're going to take. Once you take on the mindset of the person you want to become, things are going to start changing. Because remember, if you want to change, then you must first believe before you can become. If you want more information on how you can change your beliefs, let me know and I can make a video.
The reason why a lot of people won't become who they want is because they're too attached to who they've been. And you hear it all the time when people say, I've always been this way. Okay, well, if that's working for you, keep doing that. I knew it wasn't working for me any longer. I had hit my version of rock bottom. So I was willing to let go of everything and everybody. See, another reason why people won't get there is because the doorway is for you to fit through. You trying to carry everybody else through because you're trying to be Rescue 911. And you got to rescue you first.
Sis, if you really want to become a better version of yourself, you have to change your environment. I've been that girl trying to change your life, but feel like you can still hang out with those same friends. It's fine. I can make it. God got me. But God has always made me feel uncomfortable in certain settings and around certain people. I've always been the friend that's been set apart from the crowd, been uncomfortable in very normal spaces for them. And I truly believe it's because God knew then what my life would look like now. God sees the entire book, whereas we only see one page. So sis, this is your sign to really change your environment. People in your life who you know don't mean you any well and that you know will not complement the future that you're creating for yourself, they gotta go. The men that we're hanging out with, just because we don't want to be lonely, but you know that they don't complement your future, they also gotta go. Once I started to make these changes in my life and started being intentional about who it is I allow around me and what my environment looks like in general, I had more peace, I was calmer, and I was available for God to start making the changes in my life that he needed to make, that he couldn't make because other people in other environments were in the way. Having the cute aesthetic life, a beautiful house, you know, all of those things is great. But we gotta take out the garbage, which means changing our environment. Because baby, please believe, life is so much better and cuter on the other side. And baby, it's worth it.
There's a new way to reinvent yourself, and on my channel and in this series, I'm showing you how to break free from your old passive self and step into your most powerful higher self. There's a reason why people like Norman Jean created Marilyn Monroe, because we can only believe in ourselves based on our current life and our past experiences. So if from a young age we haven't had the best script running in our subconscious mind, it's going to be so hard to step out and do things that make us feel uncomfortable, even as much as sticking to a routine, eating healthy, doing the things that we know we should do. It's not because there's something wrong with you, you're lazy, your dreams are just not meant for you. It's because of your identity and how you see yourself. And most people go through their life thinking that they are just the way they are. Many times if you hear people say, this is just the way it is, that's just life, because of their identity, they've let themselves become a character of what society, their friends, their environment, what the whole world has told them they should be, but it's not who they really are. And most people don't realize that they can change, they can recreate themselves and create a new character. I didn't. So for a long time, I was going through my life trying to change my life to only get the same results over and over again in all areas. The same patterns kept happening to the point where I was like, there's got to be more to this. I can't just be unlucky. And then that's when I started to discover the power of the mind, because I knew there had to be another way, because there's only so much action you can take. If you don't take action from a place of a strong self-identity and concept of what you want to do, and with a concept of self-belief, that it doesn't matter what actions you take. You can take all the action in the world, you can work hard, the result's not going to be the same. We're taught from society that you need to go and work really hard in school, get a degree, go and work for a job to be successful and make money. We're taught to chase love and chase relationships, work hard to make that work, to be loved. We're taught to do everything backwards. Like, we're not taught to first change our mind and our identity. Hard to believe when you've been taught so much that you have to go and do things to make a change. But if you're still here and you've got up to this point in your life where you're like, you know what, I've tried to do the work, I've tried to do the healing, I've bought the books, I've bought the courses, I took lots of action, but I don't quite feel my best self. And it's where you use the same techniques that Marilyn Monroe uses and a lot of stars use to create a new level of confidence. If you don't have that confidence within yourself yet, you create a new version of you who has the confidence, who has the things that you want. You first see yourself in the end result. Somewhere in a different timeline, that is you. Because I truly believe the visions that we have of our higher self is who we really are, and they are guidance to our life path.
If you've ever felt like there's a disconnect between who you're supposed to be and who you are currently, let me tell you about a recent epiphany I've had. This epiphany came about because I came across a video by a creator who I'll leave the name of down below, and she was basically talking about how to reinvent yourself. She was able to basically put into words what I realized was a subconscious shift that had happened in my mind in 2023 that had caused me to be able to manifest the things that I manifested. Essentially what she was saying in the video is that most people will usually start with the habits and the goals that they think that their higher self would have, instead of starting with their higher self and working their way towards the habits. And let's be real, it's not always easy to implement the habits first when you don't feel like that person yet. In a way, it almost can feel like you're cosplaying the person that you want to be, rather than actually embodying that person and just becoming that person innately in you. Instead of starting with the habits to try and embody the person that we want to be, you start with embodying the person that you want to be, and then you will naturally pick up those habits. Which is why I had the epiphany that I had, because when she said that, I realized that is what has made the biggest difference in my life, and that's why I was able to manifest all of the things that I manifested. If you haven't seen the video of, you can check out a couple videos back. But I basically realized that I had subconsciously embodied the energy of my higher self. Once I started actually believing I'm already this person, right? Like it's not like someone that I'm trying to be. It's someone that I already am innately inside of me. I just haven't unlocked her yet. Like I almost see it as like unlocking a level in a game. I naturally am this person. Like, I have these levels to me naturally. I just need to unlock them, and they just weren't unlocked yet. And that's why there were certain prizes, certain things that I hadn't achieved yet, I hadn't accomplished yet, because I hadn't unlocked that level yet of my life. I hope that that makes sense. Instead of trying to implement the habits to become the woman that I want to be, I became the woman that I wanted to be. And so innately, because of that, I started making decisions and actions that matched those habits. A practical example of what this looks like, my Tesla, for example, I went and test drove it twice. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I was being slightly delulu, and I was sitting in that car, driving it, with my mum in the passenger seat, pretending that this is my car already, that I'm just driving my mum and I around town, and the car that we're sitting in right now is just my car. The moment that I sat down and started driving that car, I was like, this feels like my car. Like, I need to have this car. And then everything after the fact meant that I made decisions so that I could save up deposit for that car. Like, no one comes with you on these test drives. And so it made it so easy for me to envision that this was my car. This works for other things as well. You'll find it so much easier to make those things a reality, because doors open for you a lot easier when you are in close proximity to the thing that you're trying to achieve. So whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, get into close proximity with that thing. Embody that thing. Today is just going to be one of those no mascara days. Sometimes I just go mascara-less because I just think about having to take it off at the end of the day. And I just cannot find it in me to do that sometimes. Just going to curl them because my lashes grow out super straight. I feel like that didn't really do anything. Let me do it again. Rather than trying to force all of these changes and all of these different habits all in one go because it's your New Year's resolutions and you feel like you need to implement everything all at once, I just feel like that's so unsustainable. And I think a lot of the time the key for success is mindset and your internal work, and that'll naturally show in terms of habits and all of those things. But let me know, are you guys also on a reinvention or elevation journey? And if so, please leave your tips down below because I want us to be able to just share and help each other out.
So you want to rebrand yourself in 2024 to be that girl, but you don't know where to start. Literally anyone can do it, and I'm going to teach you how on today's episode of The Dream Girl Diaries, a series where I help women just like you rebrand themselves and elevate their lifestyles. One of the most powerful things you can do as a woman who is elevating herself, and I want you to really listen to this, okay, is to alchemize envy. All right, I'm going to say it again. Alchemize envy. It's so common for women to get this visceral jealous reaction when encountering other women they perceive to be competition. Whether that's dressing nice, having a great aura, having a nice walk. I mean, it could be anything. The next time you feel this way, I want you to immediately catch yourself beginning to feel envy, and then shift into your collecting data mode. Okay, so what this looks like is you're at the store, all right, you're at the grocery store or whatever, and maybe you just needed to run a quick errand, so you put a cap on, you're not really feeling at your peak, okay? You're not really feeling the most attractive in that moment, let's say, and this stunning woman walks in. You can hear the click of her heels, hair done, makeup on point, just her energy is engulfing the room and all eyes are on her. If you begin to feel that reaction of, oh, she's a threat, I want you to begin analyzing her, because the truth is you only feel she is a threat because you know she's killing it. You know she is that girl, but maybe you're not feeling your best. So it's really a reflection of insecurity, and we've all been there. So I'm not even talking down on you, but make notes of the way she walks, of the things that stand out to you, of her style. Maybe there's a style that you never thought to try, but now you're gonna try that because it's working for her and you want to experiment. You know, you're just collecting data. So when you see it from that perspective, it becomes so freaking fun because you continue to unlock new levels. Like, there is no cap. So by cap, I mean there's no cap on the levels you can reach, all right? So if you're not satisfied with your weight, become active, okay? If you're not satisfied with your walk, perfect it. If you want to work on the way you command a room, watch some YouTube videos, watch my videos, do that. Like, educate yourself, learn, okay? The beauty in the rebrand is that there is no limit. The only limit is yourself and the limits that you place on yourself. So once you realize that, like, you're golden. No one can stop you, literally. Okay, babe, follow for more.
We have overcomplicated everything. Overcomplicated it. I think if you come onto TikTok, you go onto YouTube, you look up how to reinvent yourself, we have overcomplicated it. It seems like everyone is saying something different. People are contradicting each other. What the heck am I supposed to do? I just want to change my life. I have changed more and progressed more towards my goal in these last 6 months than I did this entire year. In the beginning of the year, we're definitely complicating things. Oh, but I want to do this and I need to do this and I need to do that. And I was just overwhelmed, causing me to feel a little bit stuck. Let me tell you guys how easy it is. Y'all want to reinvent yourselves. Y'all want your entire lives to change. All you have to do, okay? Don't worry about not knowing where to start. Just pick a place in your life, an area in your life where you need to grow, that needs change, and just start moving. Make a decision and go. You'll never know what's meant for you. You'll never be able to find your purpose. You just have to be willing to F around and find out. That's it, that's all. Once you pick an area in your life and you start to move towards it, you will unlock new levels of mind. Okay, you will not be the same if you wake up and you make the decision and you remind yourself and set the intention of, this is what I'm working towards today. I just need to get one step closer to this goal. Everything in your life is going to change. Everything is going to change and nothing's going to be the same, and it's not even that complicated. You're going to start thinking differently. You're going to be able to view more possibilities for yourself. You'll have more choices, more opportunities, more resources. And as you work on that one area of your life, you will improve in many different areas of your life as well. That's it, that's all. We've overcomplicated it. It's not this or that, or do this, or journal 7 times a day, and I'm not against any of that. I advise you guys to do that. But why is everything so different? Why is it so complicated? Just pick an area, start, make the decision. Once you make the decision, your whole life is going to change. You're going to start to view things differently. That's the only thing that matters, is being able to view the world differently and see possibilities where you once just saw nothing.
Here's what no one's going to tell you about reinventing yourself or rebranding your life. There are going to be times where you want to go back to that old version of you that's self-sabotaging, that is doom scrolling, that is lazy, that is not acting on their inspirations. And this actually happens because you don't feel safe being this new version of you. It's way out of your comfort zone. It feels overwhelming, and it just feels easier going back to the old you. When this happens, it's really important for you to regulate your nervous system so that you feel safe as you make the transition into the new version of you. And it's also really important to remember your why. Why did you start this journey? Why did you want to let go of this old version of yourself? Why are you stepping into this new season of your life? And also remember, like, not every day is going to be perfect. Give yourself some grace and be kind to yourself, and know that you are making a huge transition when you're reinventing yourself, and it just doesn't happen overnight.
Hey girl, I just want you to remember to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself when you make a mistake. Forgive yourself when you feel like you're not showing up as the person you want to be. Forgive yourself for reoccurring patterns. Forgive yourself for unbroken cycles. Give yourself grace and compassion and kindness. I don't want you walking around this earth or even going to bed feeling guilty or shameful for decisions that you've made. You are an amazing human being. And your path on life may look a little bit different than other people. That doesn't mean that you're a bad person. That doesn't mean that you don't deserve love and compassion and kindness from yourself. I want you to give it to yourself. Okay? You deserve it. And I love you. Have a good night.
Save me, but you can't.